Hello, this is Gene. This is something a little bit different because I think some of my content the last couple times has been more really black pilled. And sometimes it's good to get that out to say how disgusted you are with this society at this point. But we cannot be black pilled all the time. We have to have something to look forward to, a goal to have. Um, we can complain and we can say that it's really bad, especially for men at this time in our society, especially white men. The future is kind of bleak to us, but everybody. So we talk about this difference thing between individualism and the collective. And if you just worry about yourself all the time, you're not going to do what you have to do for the community at large. So sometimes that's a little selfish to do it, but sometimes you have to do that. You have to say, I'm going to improve myself, and that eventually that'll be something that'll I can make it more strong for the community that you're going to be involved with. So all the stuff that I talk about, how black pilled I'm getting, and I'm thinking that the future is going to be very difficult for me and my sons and their families and my kids, my daughters, and all that stuff. All that is something that could happen. But regardless of that, we just can't say, well, we have to give up now. That because the demographics are sliding so bad to one side that we're just going to give up. Um, you can look at all this stuff and you can get upset about it, um, and you can be down about it. You can be depressed about it and say, "Oh my God, my future means nothing." But when you do that, you're also forgetting that what's right in front of you. If you're a young man and you're with somebody, and if you're continually worried about this, and all your efforts and energy is just about all the shit that's going to happen in the future, and you don't pay attention to what's in front of you, you're not going to have that shield maiden that's going to be there with you to go through all that stuff, or that mate that you're going to have to procreate. So you have to live in the moment that you're in, regardless of what we think that what the future probably holds for us, because we don't know. Tomorrow, something could happen. Asteroid could hit the parts of the world, and then half of the world is dead. So, just because we're trending that way, that the demographic replacement of our people is statistically probably going to be 100%, it doesn't mean that we can't enjoy the times that we're here and have family and have community and have a good time. So I guess this video is just a call out to this, because way too many guys, because we're like this, we start thinking about it and we internalize it, and then we don't allow us to. It doesn't allow us to actually experience with other people. We get to the point where why do we even try? Why do we even try? If I'm at a job that's not really good, or I don't think that it really does anything with my talents, well, if there's no other responsibilities in your life, if you're not married, you don't have kids, make a risk and go somewhere else. Um, uh, to put the faith in yourself and saying that you can do better, uh, to be um, to be positive about yourself. We can be rational and logical, and we can look to the future and say that our future is going to be kind of weird, kind of be bad for a lot of people. But it doesn't mean that right now that you can't enjoy life. And there are way too many guys, young guys in their 20s, that they have no way forward. They think that they don't have any guidance right now, and everybody that wants to actually guidance is from that side of that fears. It's the feminist theories that that's how they want to tell men to be trained to be, and that's not what men need. We're very simple creatures. We need structure. We also need risk taking. We need a woman that's going to support us. Um, and at the end of the day, we want to have families. This idea that men don't want to be fathers is just ludicrous. It's something that we are made to do. We want to provide, we want to protect, and that little lesson of life, which is, I think it's also instinctively there, but we've lost it to the media, through other people telling us it's better to just be single and have sex with everybody, regardless of gender, if there is any gender, and it takes away and numbs that instinctual thing that we have to procreate, to be fathers, to be providers, to be protectors. And we have people on the left, and even a lot of people on the right, to sit there and say that the gender roles need to be changed because women are in the workplace and all this stuff. Well, the real truth is any study that's really with its worth, its salt, its weight in gold, is saying that women love to be at home with the kids and raising them when they're young. Men love to go to work and provide for them, and they want a supportive wife. That's really about all we need. Women are a little different than us. They have a part of the female nature that's hypergamist. They like to trade up. So if a man is not improving himself, either through economically or whatever, women might look elsewhere. And the problem is when you allow women to go into workplaces, they might find guys that are that way. And all of a sudden they forget about the guy that's got them to this point, and there's a female nature that wants them to trade up. And society and media pushes them into that as well. The laws have been changed. The family courts have changed, saying that women can have a divorce for no reason, basically. And women think that that's more important. They think that money is the protection that they really need, and it's not. And they realize later on in life, when they're in a marriage with somebody who doesn't really love them, and then they're depressed and they're on drugs and they're killing themselves at large levels. And it's just one of those things that's going on and on. So we can talk about this stuff in this channel. We can talk about the future is pretty bleak for people like us. But the truth is, if you're young, you have no excuse not to have a good time with life. Go out, find yourself a girl, have her check you and you check her. Make sure it's somebody that's going to be with you. Make sure she understands what you believe in life. Tell her that there's no way in hell that if you get pregnant that you're going to abort a baby. Just tell her that up front. And if she doesn't want to be with you, fine, you find someone else. Understand that you're going to be the guy that's going to be the breadwinner. That if you ever have babies, that she's going to stay home until the kids go to school, at least. And have that conversation up front. And you're going to find women out there that want to do this. Regardless of what the media is pushing down the throat of all these girls, most women want this. They don't want to go to work. They really don't. They want to have babies and have families. They find this out later in life, right? And it used to be that you would have your 1 or 2 years that you might sow your oats. So you're 21, or you just got a high school or college. So you're 22, 23, and all of a sudden you say, okay, I need to settle down. Now we're telling our women to wait till they're 30. So during that time, if they went to college, which they dominate right now, so 7 or 8 years they're out there doing the cock carousel, and they realize, and they say these things that there aren't really any good men out there. Well, you're going out with men that just will have sex with you, so I don't know what you're asking for. And then we have men on other sides, the baiters, that are just orbiting these women instead of just finding a good woman for themselves. So, again, on this channel, especially the last 3 or 4 months, I've been very black-pilled. And I know there are a couple of younger people that watch this stuff. And I don't want them to get the idea, just because I'm an older dude, that I think the world is over. I had to be somewhat optimistic that we can get it past. It took about 2 generations to change everything. And if we all of a sudden decide that we're going to do it ourselves, that we're going to change the society and how it looks at things, if we're going to incentivize childbirth in the white community, we can get it back to where we were before. Now the problem is most of us, as we know, is about half of the white people are about stupid as well. They believe all this shit that's been forced down their throat, saying that it's the white man's fault and that we have to atone for it. And there's never a time that we can't just stop atoning. Ask Germany and the people there. They've been atoning for the last 70 years about something they probably didn't have anything to do with. And not, especially not at the level that everybody says they did. It is what it is. I want this channel not only to be rational and logical, I want it to be a place of positivity, especially for young men, because that's usually what watches my channels. There is a way out. At the end of the day, if you can't, on the collective level, that we can't get our guys, our people together to go forward, you have to do it at the individual level. And I know that's a hard thing, because we try to say we can't be individualism much and all that shit. But you, whoever you are, you have to find the right woman with you. Get a job that's going to support you too, And it doesn't really have to be a job that you love, but the supporting that you're going to get, the money you're going to get from that job is going to protect your wife and your offspring. And you'll see, and when you take them into games and you start see them and they become part of you and all that stuff, it'll be worth it. All that shit you're doing at work that you think it's mundane, it doesn't really do anything for you, it doesn't matter. And you have time after work that you can work on other things that interest you. You can write stuff, you can do things like that. And you have time to do this. You just can't lay down and just say the world is against us. You know, whether people like me that sit there and say it, you still be better than that. Better than me saying, oh, we'll never get out of it. You just have to get up above it because you were given a life. The greatest lottery that anybody ever gets. People talks about winning the lottery, wins billions of dollars. You got the lottery of life in the West. And the people that are here that watch this channel, mostly white boys, you have the DNA, the heritage that comes through thousands of years of breeding down to you. And you owe it back, you owe them, and you also owe the people in the future, your offspring, to make sure that you're going to leave something for them. And that it should be enough. You should understand that that is that's enough. That every day you know that's your long range goal, that you're going to make it better for us, everybody else that are like us, or what we believe in. But also you have to enjoy your life while you're here. You have to enjoy the people you're with, and you have to have babies. The reason you're here is to have babies. I don't care what the media's been telling you, or the reason why you're here is because somebody else had sex and you're here. So you owe that to those people. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do it to me, but your parents had you, and they expect that you're going to have grandbabies, and that has to go on and on and on and on. That is what we're supposed to do. At the simplest levels that we're supposed to do. We can talk about everything else, about politics and sports and everything else, but the simple, at the very lowest level is why we're here. And then we have another great gift that God gave us is our conscience. So you can have these conversations, you can love somebody, you can have all these great philosophical questions, and that's another great thing to do. But at the end of the day, you have to just take care of what you're with. Basically, that's it. So thank you for watching. Please share this, like this, get this out to as many people as you can. I've just been seeing a lot of people in the movement, conservative young men, and a lot of MGTOWs. They think that they're doing something good with the MGTOW, and I've talked on this channel many times that they're part of the problem too. The media or whatever you want to call it has made them believe this, that women are bad, that men should just be better by themselves and work out and never have babies. That's exactly what they want. So don't you understand that you're basically just doing what they want them to do? And these are good guys, right, for the most part, especially young guys, because they've been turned off by it, because everything that they see on media that they watch, like on YouTube or something like that, it's more alternative media, they think that everything's bad against men. And it is, okay? And you should be aware of that. You should be understanding that that's there. But you can be better than that. And you have to be. It's like, we could talk about black people and their obstacles that they've had in this country, and they've had. So they can get past it. Some of them get past it. There's no reason why a young white man in their 20s or 30s can't get past the obstacles that society's against us. Because we're smart enough, and we can do it. We did it in the past. We have that in the back of our DNA, that it goes all the way back for thousands of years, that we did things that no one else has ever done. Everything in the West is our creation. Everything. Yeah, we had other people to help us build it, but it was ours. Everything, the laws, that's from us. So the idea that we can't get through this, if we're not the majority in this country, okay, but it's to say that we can't have a place that will just be 95% of us somewhere, to have a great place like that. If we continually go down this road and we think that we can't, then we won't. We can sit there and say that everything is against us, but we're still here right now. This is not 40 years from now. This is now. We can do it. And you have to get, the young guys have to do this. They have to do it. They have to lead. Women will only follow those who are leaders. And it doesn't really matter what color they are, what culture they're from. As empowered as women are right now, they will not, the Western women all of a sudden will not all of a sudden go out and beat up Muslim men if they are taking over everything. they will conform with them, and they'll be under that Sharia law, and that's exactly what will be. They don't, they won't. So this is how women are. So anyway, please share it, like it, and let's get this message out here to be positive right now, even though it's a black bill world. Hopefully Nick Fuentes will talk about shit like this, that as bad as it is, we still have to be positive that we can do something about it. Thank you for watching. You guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.